Right then, there's a quick road test video, and this is for a Chrysler Captiva, and it's one of the top of the range ones, diesel. I think it's the premium from memory, or premium I think. GY10YNM is the registration number, and it's done 93,121 miles. The reason we do these road tests is so that customers actually get to see the cars we're selling in operation. We just feel it's right to show you the vehicles, and if there's any issues on the vehicle we will relay them back to you. Road tests are also done on the same very quiet country roads close to our premises, so hopefully it'd be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive on the car. Starting with the engine of the vehicle, just a very brief background to this car. This car was actually my wife's car. It was part exchanged in against her last vehicle, and actually we've been using it for the last few weeks. It's actually a really nice car. It's been quite handy to drive the vehicle, so hence we've been in no great rush to sell it. But she really enjoys driving the vehicle. Engine starts absolutely first turn of the key every time, settles to a completely smooth and even idle. But it's a lovely gutsy engine, and very refined in operation too. It's sweet in nature, pulls from sort of low down, very tractable, but it's got plenty of grunt when you put your foot down as well. We did a nice trip up to Ross-on-Wye at the weekend, and it was a really lovely car to drive up and down the hills. It was a great vehicle. There's no warning lights on this car at all, by the way, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. The temperature gauge is running at around about a third, which is where it should be. But the engine is absolutely fine. It's lovely. Clutch on the car operates smoothly. Bite point is exactly where it should be on the car. There's no change in engine note or no vibrations. Whether the clutch is in or out, it remains exactly the same. Gearbox on the vehicle, nice, easy to use gearbox. Gear changes are smooth, slick. I can't feel any obvious wear in the linkage of the vehicle at all. It all feels really, really nice. Gear changes, got quite a meaty action to it, which I actually really like on the vehicle. But it's light, but it's actually, you feel as though you've got a gear change rather than just wafting a stick around somewhere towards the middle of the car. So in terms of the powertrain of the vehicle, engine, gearbox, clutch, everything is exactly as it should be on the vehicle. Steering on the vehicle is very well weighted actually. It was actually very nice on the drive. It's my first experience of these cars, so I'm sort of starting from scratch really. But it just feels nice. There's no vibrations. It tracks absolutely dead straight. It said it's well judged, it's accurate, it's quick enough without being oversensitive. But it's not slovenly in any way. It matches the car very, very nicely. And I said I can't feel any wear through the steering at all. There's no sort of free play in it. There's no sort of clunks when you're engaging, sort of turning from lock to lock. And it said there's no vibrations at all. So you can see it tracks absolutely dead straight. And certainly we've been on the motorway in it, I couldn't find any wheel vibration at all coming back through the car. The suspension of the vehicle, again, very nicely judged as well. It doesn't allow for huge amounts of roll through the corners, which is good. Body control is pretty good as well on the car. It's a very comfortable ride, very smooth riding vehicle, and very quiet on the road as well. There's not a lot of road noise. There's not a lot of sort of thump or bump when you go over the bumps. It manages to mute most of that very, very well indeed. And again, I can't feel any sort of clanks or clunks coming from underneath the vehicle, which is what I'm kind of looking out for in road tests, which is normally just things like drop links or anti-roll bar links, but they can be annoying nonetheless. But this one's absolutely fine. Braking on the vehicle, I tried it on to the family app. There's a lovely solid brake pedal on the car, brings the nose of the car down dead straight, doesn't pull left, right or otherwise, and there's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal either. One thing I did notice driving the car is actually just how quiet the vehicle is. You know, when you're cruising particularly, it is a very quiet vehicle. You can sort of imagine covering a lot of miles very, very comfortably indeed. Obviously that'd be spoiled if you had a door seal or windscreen fitted not right, but yeah, so that's the legal limit here, and it's very, very quiet. Looking around inside the car, it's you know, a high spec vehicle, this one, so you've got loads of stuff on it, most of which I've not even touched yet. But obviously you've got your cruise control, sat nav there, which all works perfectly, as does the rear parking camera. You've got heated seats on this one. The dual zone climate control system, or the climate control system rather, pumps out absolutely ice cold air, and when you consider outside at the moment it's nearly 30 degrees centigrade, it's a blisteringly hot day. That is really effective air conditioning on the car as well. But the dashboard is simplicity itself. You know, there's no creaks, buzzers, moans from the interior of the car. All, you know, feels pretty well screwed together. Everything I've pressed thus far seems to work up exactly as it should as well. All the readout on the dashboard's working perfectly, and that's lovely, clear, simple dials on there as well. But it's a very, very nice car to drive. Great visibility, nice sort of driving position, and it's all straight, rather than nothing kind of askew when you're driving. As I said at the start of the video, the whole point of these is just to pick up on any issues really, and there's nothing, you know, sort of with my wife and kids have been out in the car for weeks now, and reported nothing. She sort of thoroughly enjoys driving it, which is a rarity in itself, but so I'm a happy chap. But having said that, if I've missed something on the video, then, you know, please don't hesitate, do give us a call, and I'll obviously happily answer any questions you might have about the car. Worth pointing out, by the way, I know that the Auto Trader site tends to kind of prompt people to email, which you're welcome to do, but we just prefer people to phone, in all honesty. We're quite old-fashioned, not great at email. We find it quite impersonal. You know, we like to sort of expand on, you know, what we've got as a car. You can ask many more questions that way, things that come into your head, and you get a feeling for who we are and what we are as people and as a garage. But as I said, you know, emails are still welcome.